Follow the money. That's what I always say. You always follow the money.
Yeah. This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
Welcome aboard. It is Follow the Money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Mitch Moss along with Pauly Howard as we are live in downtown Las Vegas from the Circa Resort and Casino. And the show, as always, is brought to you by DraftKings. We have a loaded 3-hour show today. I think it's going to fly by faster than normal. We'll get to the entire Week 18 reaction, look-ahead numbers here, the openers from last night, where the numbers are sitting today for wildcard weekend. In the playoffs, we have a national title game to talk about tonight. We'll do so. Josh Applebaum on the show, Michael Lombardi, and Pat Forty will join us live in Houston to get us set for Washington and Michigan. Paulie, if only like every week throughout the entire year could be like Week 18 in the NFL. I love it. Super dramatic, entertaining, down to the wire, and of course, it was meaningful until the final possession of the last regular season game of the year, with so much on the line from a contest standpoint out here in Las Vegas, and also what it actually means for these playoff teams in the matchups that we were going to get. I mean, if Tua's not picked off there at the end, they score, they're going to go for 2, you would think anyway. And if they go for 2, then they're the 2 seed. We're getting that game again next week. And Buffalo will probably be around a field goal favorite, maybe a little bit less. Instead, they're the 2. They get to host the Steelers, another 9.5-point favorite.
The Miami was in a brutal situation. They're decimated by injury. Their reward for beating Buffalo was getting Buffalo again. And if they lost, they have to go to Kansas City in 2-degree weather. And you saw what happened the latter. You're right, they were going to go for 2. Tua was awful, and McDermott made the right move. They didn't execute, going for it 4th and inches. Allen asked to extend the ball there. He didn't do it. Got caught jumping as well. Mm-hmm. But it was, going up and down the field. They had almost 500 yards of offense in the game, and the biggest play of the game was the punt return. I mean, they're stuck on 7 points there late in the game. And I'm yelling, don't field it at his own 5, and then the kid houses it.
If they don't get that, I don't know if they win the game or not.
Yeah, right. You're probably right. But again, it's the story of Josh Allen, who at times looks great, but again, he continues to turn the ball over. He had 3 costly turnovers, and then the decision before halftime, throwing it short of the goal line and not getting points out of that one. So I know McDermott was ticked off, and rightfully so, going into halftime.
I don't blame McDermott. I mean, he was asked at halftime, about that final possession, and he just goes, Josh can't do that.
No.
He goes, that's pretty much ridiculous, man. What are you doing? You got to throw that ball into the end zone. So you're right. The fumble was inexcusable. The INTs, I know, people will have his back on that. The first one was, what was that pass in the end zone?
It looked like miscommunication. There was no wide receiver
I
there.
guess. And then the second one, it was 4th down. I get it. But can you put it in a position to where your teammates can actually make a play on the ball? Is that possible?
Well, the guy fell down.
But also the Miami defender should have just knocked it down too, because they lost field position on it as well.
Yeah.
So, you get the good and the bad. I mean, a lot of times it'll look pretty with him, and it's like, wow, this dude is get out of his way, he's a wrecking ball, and he's going to do a ton of damage. Other times it's like, what? How many years has he been in the league? Still making decisions like this? But now, again, they're a 9.5-point favorite to pick. And you're right. I mean, had we gotten a rematch and it would have been around the same number, I think Buffalo absolutely would have been the play. Miami could not put a drive together. Their only first down came on the final drive of the second half, came on the final drive when it was 21-14, and they were desperate, obviously, to put something together. Also, Paulie, you're not kidding about the injuries. I mean, Jalen Phillips, first of all, a while back, Chubb then 2 weeks ago, and then last night Van Ginkel goes down.
Yep.
It's like, how many guys can they possibly survive, go on the edge or whatever? Melvin Ingram's 34 years old. He's out there covering tight ends last night.
Yeah,
and
right.
Collinsworth is talking about it like, what are they? Hey, this is what they're up against, though.
Yeah, you got to get Mostert and Waddle back, too, for the playoff game. But it's the same thing with this organization. Against playoff teams this year, 1-5 and outscored by 91 points. And some horrible decisions by Tua. So great call by Adam Chernoff weeks ago to say get some futures on Buffalo. What was the highest you saw in division? Plus 650?
I didn't look at division.
Higher than that.
I only looked at AFC.
Right, but the huge ticket cashes to win the division. So great job to get the 2 seed, but you still have a ton of questions about them and how bad the offenses looked the last couple of weeks and the turnovers every single game. But the defense has done an incredible job. So you're right about what Miami's have to deal with, but Buffalo's going through the same thing. Oh, they were losing guys every single game, every single week with the injuries. And this is a phenomenal job, what they've done defensively. So I love this rushing game when they get Cook going and power football, and it's a big reason why Dorsey was fired, but they wouldn't let Allen run. Well, now he's running, and you're seeing how dangerous he is. But can they go to Baltimore and win? I don't think so. But if they don't turn it over and they have all this talent, they can win a game or two, and finally, we're getting ahead of ourselves, but finally they'll be able, it looks like they can host Kansas City as opposed to going to Kansas City in the 2-3.
Well, I would love Bills Mafia to take over Las Vegas for the week of the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I think that would be amazing.
Yeah.
They come out here in full force, and it would be just nothing but blue and red in the entire city for probably like 7-8 days. Also, I mean, so that was the night game, the afternoon games, and can we please have like more afternoon games? I know everything was on the line yesterday, right? But do we have to have these 10 weeks of 10 early and 3 late? It's outrageous. And then yesterday you saw what happened and how meaningful some of these games were for the Rams to come back and tip of the cap to Carson Wentz. He played like he needed that game for his life and put it together. They went for 2. They got it. So now instead of that team going to Dallas and Green Bay going to Detroit, if that 2's not good or if San Francisco comes down and wins the game, now the Rams get to go to Detroit. That's the Sunday night game. I think that's a great job by the schedule makers. And now, because of that, Green Bay now goes to Dallas.
This is a home run. I mean, you have McCarthy against his former team. You have Stafford against his former team, and he traded for Goff. And you have Tyreek Hill against his former team. That's nuts.
Yeah.
And how it worked out is beautiful. And then we got weather in 2 games as well. A great job by the Rams coming back. I thought very important to get the 6th seed because they were flogged by Dallas in the first meeting.
I don't think the Rams or the Packers wanted to go to Dallas.
Yeah, right. The Packer game was fantastic. And that's why you have to move on from Fields, by the way. When they fall behind, they're cooked. He completed 11 passes. So you can't pass on Williams. And you also can't pay Fields. I don't know what Jackson was going to do either, but you can't give Fields all that money. You have to move on. So a great job defensively by the Bears down the stretch and playing hard. And great job, but you called this before the season. Green Bay closed 6-2, and Love had an 18-1 touchdown INT ratio.
I mean, he put together, honestly, he was one of the best quarterbacks in football this year. When you look at the numbers, end of season, he was great again yesterday. And going back to the beginning of the year, that's one of the teams I got right with their win total and to make the playoffs. And there was so much chatter about the Falcons. And I bring that team up because I know that they had an easy schedule on paper. But to me, they were comparable teams, right? Because Ritter was in year number 2, but he never really played. Love was in year number 4, but he never really played. And everybody who was making the case for Atlanta just kind of brushed it aside like, oh, well, I mean, I don't have to talk about Ritter. I can talk about everything else that makes sense for Atlanta. But with Jordan Love, kid can't play. Green Bay's going to stink. It was the exact opposite. So that's why I was so confused back in July and August. Like, why do people just assume because of the schedule that Ritter's going to be okay? And he never was. And they never gave Love a chance. And, I mean, 6 weeks into the season, I didn't think the kid could play. He was so up and down.
Yep.
And for him to flip, and I'll tell you this right now, I can't even. I hope books need to wait until they put out MVP odds for next year. Don't do it until like May. I don't want to see MVP odds out for next year in the regular season like in 3 weeks. Don't do that. But there will be absolutely no value on Jordan Love next year. He'll probably be like around 20-1 to win the MVP.
Mm-hmm. Remember, he did this with so many guys out. Never had Watson.
Yeah.
Jones was in and out of the lineup. How the hell did they lose to Tommy DeVito? My God. But listen, LaFleur did an excellent job what he was dealing with. And there's always some weird moves and weird stuff that happens, the stuff before halftime where they can't get the field goal because the clock runs out. But a couple of weeks ago, they couldn't stop Bryce Young. The guy lit him up for 30 points. Mm-hmm. Then they get shut out in back-to-back games, and he throws for 80 yards and 100 yards. Oh. So you see how Mike does against them? It's a teaser delight because Dallas is so good at home, but it's an incredible job for Green Bay to get in here, and it's an all-time bad by what happened with Atlanta and New Orleans, especially Atlanta. To go 7-10 with that schedule that you played, I mean, but excellent job by LaFleur in Green Bay, and you're right with the drama with the 7 late. As the Seattle game comes down to the final play, the Bears have the ball. Looks like there's a chance they could come back, and what happened earlier with the Saints getting the win. So we had plenty of drama in the late games and the Rams coming back.
By the way, my initial gut here says Dallas -7 is too short.
Yeah, I was surprised by that.
Against Green Bay. I thought it was going to be higher. I thought it was going to be
Yep.
higher than 7, a little bit shorter than 10.
I'm also shocked by Kansas City 3. It's going to be 2 degrees.
Too high?
Too low.
Too low, yeah.
I know they have plenty of issues, but this is, I mean, again, it's Miami against good teams, and the South Florida boys are going outside in the elements, and they have a ton of injuries, and you get the Chiefs who sat everybody. So I can't believe that spread.
I think the Dolphins were favored against the Chiefs over in Germany, if I recall correctly. But this team is not the same team that they were in the middle of the season. They've had so many injuries since then.
Yeah.
And, this did not go well for this team against good teams throughout the entire year. And you brought it up, the Seattle-Arizona madness where, I mean, we're talking about Arizona's win total, because remember, that opened up 4.5, closed 3.5. They land 4. So just a ridiculously bad landing spot for sports books with that total. And then Seattle's win total over was 8.5, and I had to pay -140 on that. Comes down to the 2-point conversion, then Prater misses his second kick of the game.
Yeah. I don't know. Someone said it was a 100-1 shot. Could have been. He's a very good kicker. He makes one kick, it's over, and then, of course, you get the quick touchdown, and they go for 2 because they know they've already been eliminated, so they get the win.
I no complaints from me for the next week, at least minimum, because of that result. Up next, more reaction, Week 18. Some of the totals have already moved. We'll tell you why next here on VSiN.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
All right, the playoffs are here. If you're looking for an edge through the playoffs and the Super Bowl, we have you covered. Become a subscriber today. Check out the best bets, who has the hot hand, picks from every host and guest, betting splits, and 24/7 video access. Sign up today. Get your first 30 days for only $9.99. VSiN.com/subscribe. Sign up now.
So for Wild Card Weekend, we get the Coach of the Year Bowl between Kevin Stefanski and the Browns against DeMeco Ryans and the Texans. Browns opened up 2. They've been bet up a little bit here to 2.5, drifting towards 3. I see 2.5 -115 at a bunch of spots, and the total here is 43.5 or 44. They just played not that long ago. Davis Mills was the quarterback. Browns were 3.5 in that game.
I think it was Keenum. Mills came in late. In any event, that was the Amari Cooper game when he went nuts.
Where he went crazy.
But that were also, it's a much improved Houston defense, and the job they did against the Colts, who were 1 of 13, I think, on third down. It's like Aikman said, that was a great job by Buck and the staff at ESPN. Has anyone ever won a game not completing get a third down conversion? I mean, it was the final drive. There's 2 minutes left. And Buck had it 2020. But that was wild. But it's a completely different team with Stroud. And a great job by Ryans. And a huge move. As I tweeted, this guy can't be 1,000 anymore, 1 to 10. And it went down, and now Stefanski's in the $3 range after Ryans wins the game and wins the division. I don't know what that paid. They were plus 650 just to make the playoffs. And then the collapse by Jacksonville. So it's going to be a hell of a game. But again, Cleveland, night and day with the defense, home and road. And Joe's been great, but Cleveland and Joe have turned the ball over a lot this year. So it's a great way to start the playoffs.
I think the Texans got very fortunate in that game. I was betting the Colts live Saturday night. As they were moving down. They were still plus money.
Stop the run, please.
And so Taylor has it going. And then 2 really bad results there for bettors like me who were on the Colts in that game. Well, more than 2, actually. First of all, why is Taylor getting out of bounds on back-to-back plays?
Oh, terrible.
Unbelievably bad job for a guy who's been in the league as long as he has. And then
he should have had the first down 100%. On second down.
It's exactly where I was going.
Terrible.
Instead of putting his head down and realizing
Yes.
I can march forward here and probably push and get the first down, he goes out of bounds again. Not once, but twice. And then they pull him out of the game. Goodson's in there for the catch, and at least he owned it afterwards, and he's talking about, like, look, it hit me in the hands. And then somebody said, well, what about the pass? He goes, doesn't matter. Touch my fingers. I got to catch the ball. He does. Maybe the pass was a little bit errant from Minshew in that spot. Wasn't perfect, but you had that thing was going to, who knows how far he's going to go. Maybe he scores a touchdown. I don't know.
Yes.
But people are ripping on, I saw this immediately, ripping on Steichen. No Taylor in the game. It was a perfect play call. Perfect.
Yep.
They had him, and the guy drops the ball. So,
Steichen, I run the ball there, but then again, Steichen blamed Minshew, but you're right. I mean, Goodson, after the game, this won't define me. Well, yes, it will.
Probably,
Until you can go out and make a play in your career, it will. But the other thing is you cannot take the time out there. What are you doing? Once you take the time out, if you don't convert, the game's over.
Right.
So that was another thing with that was stupid by Steichen. So, I mean, kind of, I know what they were also going against the clock because they didn't want to give Stroud time, but it took a while. And then once you burn the time out, you're cooked at that point. If you don't pick it up, it's over. But certainly, I don't think they were going to be able to stop you if you go run 4 times and you're going to get the first down every single time. But you know.
How many plays did Stroud make in that game that had to be made?
Right.
The kid was phenomenal. He was awesome.
Oh, the final drive, forget about it.
Oh.
I mean, it's 2nd and 20. Horrible job by the Colts. The guy misses the tackle, but they find Schultz for 17. So it sets up 3rd and manageable. And then was it 2nd and 14, the pass to, was it Collins? I mean, he's running around and somehow throws it up, and he makes a grab. And Collins had 9 for 195. He had 9 targets. He caught all of them.
Well, that's another bad job by the Colts. He's the one healthy wide receiver, and he's going to him the entire time. The first play of the game, fine, gets that deep touchdown. And he exploded the entire game after that. Horrible job defensively by the Colts there. You got to make some adjustments and realize the one guy that's killing you can't do it for the entire game. But I think Ryans has to win Coach of the Year, all things considered now.
Yeah. 3 wins, 4 wins, and if it wasn't for the shenanigans and Lovie Smith, they would have picked number 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you. I thought Mike Paul made great points Thursday. The win total was 9.5. You still have a great defense. I know Flacco was walking the dog in Sal's neighborhood, but
it's a hell of a job by Stefanski.
Oh, come on.
He's got it right. Look at the resume. He's got a great case. You can only have one winner, only one.
Yep.
The Texans were a dead team for like 3 years, totally dead.
Horrendous defense.
Yes.
Horrendous. No one wanted the job either. No one wanted that job, and because you also had guys who were going one and done too, with the history of the owner and what that was like. So and again, the combo hasn't happened since, what did I say, Friday, 2012, whatever? Rookie head coach, rookie quarterback in the playoffs, and they get a home game.
Yep. Okay, so you actually mentioned this probably 6 weeks ago. Watch out Wild Card Weekend. Saturday night, it's going to be on Peacock only. That's it. Got to have Peacock to get it. And they put the champs on Peacock against the Dolphins on Saturday night?
Well, because the Swifties have to get it.
I guess.
That's right. Oh, boy, were they running ads nonstop for it during
it was the entire
Sunday
game last night.
My God, right.
So KC, 3.5, you mentioned this. The total here, it opened 45.5. It's going to be 0 degrees at Arrowhead with winds maybe around 15 miles an hour in that game. There's a small chance of snow as well. It's down to 43.5, right around that number. I really wish I would have gotten that open for 45.5 to the under, but I missed that one.
Mm-hmm.
And now, because it's also floating around key numbers, right? 43, 44, 45, all those are key. Like 24, 21's possible.
Love
and then
the Chiefs. Love them.
You love them in the game?
Oh, God, I love them. I mean, just between the week off, Miami's banged up, all these injuries, can't beat a good team. Kansas City stunk in the first game and won in Germany. And
they got a gift in that game before halftime.
Yeah, almost blew a big lead, but there's just, again, 1-5 point differential minus 91 against playoff teams for the Dolphins. So the Miami kids going on the road in that environment with that, not the environment, the weather, I don't think it's going to, and Tua again, just horrible interception.
He was terrible last night.
Yep.
So those are the games on Saturday. On Sunday, Pittsburgh plays at Buffalo. Buffalo holding at 9.5 right now. Total has dropped from 41.5 down to 38.5 at most books. The reason why, the forecast, now this is it depends on the timing of it. And I know that everybody was on this last night. VSiN, with the Twitter account at VSiN Live, did a great job last night tracking all the contests and also like the weather for this stuff. We're talking 50-mile-an-hour winds potentially. But even if that goes away and it's not that strong during the game, we're still talking about, cold conditions and wind around 30 miles an hour.
Well, it affected the Steelers. And now I know that the running game has been great. But, I mean, it was dink and dunk, and after that first drive, they didn't really try anything down the field, and they get lucky with the touchdown pass to Johnson. So, no T.J. Watt, though. It's enormous.
Yeah.
So, that's all you need to say. The Steelers' record with and without Watt, it's night and day. So, that's a lot of points, though, with the way Allen turns the ball over, and the Steelers have a good defense. Oh, that's a ton of points.
What do you think Watt's worth to the number?
He's worth. To me, he's got to be worth a lot. Based on the straight up numbers, right. How bad they are when he's not in there.
Yeah, he's certainly worth something. I mean, because if T.J. Watt never got hurt and he was healthy, this number would not be 9.5. If so, people would be betting this thing. I think probably left and right. But maybe I'm wrong on that. But he's worth. I don't know. Call it whatever you want. He's definitely worth something to the defense. He had 19 sacks again this year.
Yes,
he's got a great case for Defensive Player of the Year.
Uh-huh.
They want to maybe try to give it to somebody different this year, but he's got as good of numbers, if not better, than Parsons or Garrett or any of them, basically.
Well, the teasers here. I mean, with these games, with the Bills at home laying 9.5 and Dallas at home 7.5.
Yeah, that's the middle game. And actually, so this was still 7 as of late last night. I saw 7 early this morning on the way in, now drifting up to 7.5 or 8, and the total is 49.5. You mentioned this earlier with the Packers. Think about the quarterbacks they have played down the stretch. And by the way, Bryce Young looked good against them. Baker Mayfield had a perfect game in terms of quarterback rating at Lambeau.
Good point.
Best game of his life.
Yep.
And now they have to go play at Dallas indoors against Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb in this offense. Do you trust this defense to get any stops whatsoever?
No, they're humming. Dallas is great at home, and I don't think they're going to get stops.
I think the total might be a little bit short in this one.
CeeDee Lamb's going to eat.
The Packers can score. Love can put some points on the board, especially if it's going to be garbage time. And the Dallas offense here, they should click on all cylinders against that defense. The Sunday night game, I'm very happy the NFL put Lions-Rams. Typically, I don't think they would, but because of the storylines in this game, it's Sunday night. Great way to close out that weekend before we get the Monday night game, obviously. But the Lions are down to 3 here, total of 51.5 or 52.
I'm not the only one to say it. Call Zach Ertz. You got to bring Zach Ertz in now with Laporta getting hurt. I would do that if I'm Detroit.
And Campbell.
Well, what are you going to do? I mean, it's how it goes. Tough break.
How many guys got hurt yesterday?
I know. Eagles,
4?
too. You got to play them. I mean, the 2 seed's a big deal. Mm-hmm. I mean, A.J. Brown got hurt, too. That's how it goes. It's tough.
We'll get into some of the contest results up next and the difference between $1 million and winning $500,000 down to the final game.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Start your morning with a daily dose of winning strategies, insider tips, and the latest buzz with the free VSiN daily newsletter. Get expert analysis and the latest odds delivered straight to your inbox, absolutely free. The recap of all the contests are in there today. VSiN.com/newsletter to subscribe. Thanks to the gentleman who tweeted in he saw the Bills 13-1 to win the division before the Chiefs game.
Yep.
Oh, man.
They have not lost since.
Wow. And kudos to you. You called that Jacksonville thing. 20,000 to make the playoffs before the Monday night game against Cincinnati. What an all-time epic choke job.
Oh, boy. I mean, I honestly think Doug Peterson should be in some hot water. And I will throw this into the mix one more time. Are they really going to give Trevor Lawrence $250 million? I mean, you look at the numbers.
He went 0-5 when he came back. Yeah.
This is incredible.
Yeah.
He has very similar numbers to Daniel Jones. I mean, that's not great.
Well,
far from it.
The defense down the stretch. Putrid.
Really bad.
That was another one, too. Yeah. But you're 8-3 in that division. And all this talk about they could get the 1 seed, and it was true. It was real. How well they were playing and the schedule. And coming into the year, it was like, come on. Colts are terrible. Rookie quarterback. Same thing with Houston. They're awful. Tennessee's going to take a step back this year. They were supposed to walk and they were huge favorites to win the division. Still, you're 8-3 and you can't even go over the win total.
The way they finished the season last year, right? There was all this hope all of a sudden in Duval County. Mm-hmm. Nope. Did not carry over to this year. Well, it did for the first 11 games. I mean, honestly, they had some really good wins throughout the season. Like that Bills win over in London was great, and it was a really bad spot for them to come back and they had the Colts at home. They pounded them, and then it was a short week at the Saints, and they won that game 31-24. It was never that close. Then they go to Pittsburgh and win. Like, going into their bye week, they look like a serious threat.
Yeah, people pointing out karma, too. They beat the Steelers, and they were messing around with the terrible towels. And guess what? They miss, and the Steelers get in. Isn't it funny how that works? But, you know, they dominated Tennessee at home. They went to Houston and won. Lawrence was looking good. And then between the injuries and the how bad they were defensively, and then they just lose 5 of their final 6 games, and the only win was Carolina. Yeah. Which it's staggering. And the same thing, different, move over to the NFC. I can't believe the Eagles. The Eagles can't go over their win total either. And the Eagles have lost 5 of 6. The Eagles were 10-1.
So who's the most disappointing team in football?
Jacksonville, to me, not even close. I saw your tweet. It's got to be Jacksonville.
I threw out, and you can only do 4 on a poll. So I threw out Jacksonville, the Chargers. I put the Panthers on there just because there's no spark at all in Carolina. But you can make a case for Atlanta. I think the Patriots, the Eagles have a strong case. I know they were 10-1.
At least they made the playoffs.
Yeah, true, but they couldn't go over that win total of 11.5.
It was smoke and mirrors, though.
I honestly think...
Yeah, but it's Jacksonville. Jacksonville should have won this division going away, and Jacksonville should have been at least the 2 seed. With that schedule and the talent that they have on offense, come on.
Yep. So I did not bet them to miss before the Bengals game, but I grabbed them, and I know that they were, when we talked about this on the air, they were higher than 9-1 at certain spots. I grabbed plus 880. So that, along with having a ticket on the Texans to win their division at 4-1, that was one of the better results of the day yesterday. I couldn't believe what I was watching with Jacksonville down the stretch. They're bad, but also, I'm not joking here. Are the Eagles one of the worst teams in football?
Defensively, they are.
They
might have the worst defense in the league.
I'm going to have to go and find the awards voters. If they give Jalen Carter Defensive Rookie of the Year, I will scream it from the mountaintops. You need to have your vote stripped away.
Yep.
It's maybe the worst defense in football, and this team stinks.
How about the Giants taking it easy on them?
Yes, they did.
They could have beat them by 40 if they wanted to.
Yep.
Oh, boy.
That's probably, that's like 31-0 at halftime without that turnover.
Uh-huh. No doubt. And A.J. Brown gets hurt. You missed your coordinators. You know, is Sirianni losing the locker room? How about our guy Sal Pal, who was at the game? Uncle Sal, he's been covering the Eagles for 31 years. Worst performance he can ever remember?
Yeah.
Oh, that's saying something.
Yeah. He said, all things considered, the personnel on this team, the overall talent.
Went to the Super Bowl, up 10, yes.
At halftime, he sends our producer a text. It's the worst I've ever seen. Been around this team for 31 years.
I mean, the body language. Oh, my God.
Oh, boy.
I mean, it's like they want the season over with, which is why Monday night is so intriguing. Because, you know, even Peter King is like, what? How are the Eagles favored in this game against anybody the way they're playing? But, you know, Tampa beats Carolina 9-0 and Baker Mayfield's hurt. So, again, we get Tampa back-to-back Monday night playoff games, and this is a rematch when Tampa couldn't move the ball. Remember, they were stuck on 3 points till late in the game, and then Philly had, like, that epic 9-minute drive to run the clock out. But, I mean, if you don't have A.J. Brown, and this is just ugly, and as bad as the offense looked yesterday, we'll move the ball against Philly.
Paul, so here's the question now. Again, it was a Monday when they played. You're exactly right. And on the air, like that whole morning, Tampa Bay was taking money. And I remember what you said.
Yeah, frauds.
Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
And you were saying on the air, Jalen Hurts is a winner. This doesn't make... So if they were around, 4.5 or 5 in that game, current state, they're 2.5. And I don't know. I don't think the sportsbook's open here in Las Vegas right now. They have a 3 listed even money.
Mike Evans should go off. You know, but the passing attack should be solid.
Buccaneers are getting guys back on defense.
Yeah, I know, but Baker's compromised. You saw him. He could barely move.
I know.
At times.
I'll shoot him up, get him out there.
That's right. Yeah, but that's... The total's outrageous. Can't be 44. It's bad. I know Philly's defense is terrible, but the way Tampa's struggling on offense...
Yeah.
I mean, early on, this is don't screw it up. Both teams, don't screw it up, no turnovers. Play it safe. Field position. Because you know what Hurts has done all year. So, did you see his middle finger? The thing's bent to the side.
Oh, yeah.
What was going on?
I could not get around what was taking place in the late window yesterday. The division is up for grabs. And, oh, by the way...
Yeah, Dallas was losing.
Dallas is in a fight to begin the game. And, you know, this is... I mean, it was quite something watching Washington yesterday because they're pulling out every imaginable stop that they had in the bag of tricks, right? It's trick plays, it's misdirection, it's going for it all the time, super aggressive, and you're like, oh, this is getting interesting.
Blocked field goal.
Let me have my eyes drift over to the Eagles game. Oh, they're down 10-0. Oh, it's 17. Oh, wait, it's 24-0.
Oh boy. Oh
my God, guys, were you not getting the alerts with the cell phones down in the stadium yesterday?
Yeah.
What was that? It was an ultimate stink bomb.
Yep.
This whole flipping the switch thing come playoff time, I don't know. Maybe it happens, and maybe they cover the game. I'm not wasting my money on this team.
Sal Pal just sent us a text. The Eagles are the first team in history to start a season 10-1 and not get to 12 wins.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, oh boy. Sirianni had a good rah-rah thing after the game about, we'll find out what we're made of and, we're winners and all this stuff. But this is just, this is embarrassing.
If A.J. Brown is hurt, well, who didn't play yesterday? Devontae Smith.
Uh-huh.
If both, okay. All right. And the defense can't stop Bishop Gorman High School right now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's...
Even if they win. I mean, you're going to go to San Francisco?
Oh, and then get absolute... What's that number right now?
Oh, God.
San Francisco will punish them.
Oh.
They will make them beg for mercy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think my favorite game, I still might bet that Chiefs-Dolphins game under looks a little juicy. Although it's moved like 2 points now. And that Bills, if it's 50-mile-an-hour winds during game day, Bills-Steelers, where does that total go? Because neither team will even attempt to throw the ball.
Can't kick a field goal either.
No, that's eliminated.
Yeah.
It's going to be run. Let's get the hell out of here and see. Maybe our running game is better than yours.
Remind me, because they're going to put up longest field goal made for that prop. And there's just, you can't kick a field goal if it's that bad in that stadium.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
That one, I like Dallas a little bit. Definitely going to be on Dallas on teasers.
Believe it? Another season in the books.
I know.
Unbelievable. 34 consecutive seasons. At least 4 new playoff teams have made it. Bill Barnwell, we talk about it every August. He does his breakdown teams to improve and decline. He went 7-1 with that as well. So some of them were easy. I know he's not looking at it from a win total standpoint, but that happened as well. And every team had a winning record in the AFC North. That hasn't happened since the 30s, Luke? Was that right? Yeah.
Think about that for a second.
Oh.
It's a long time ago.
Yeah. Every team had a winning record.
Coming up in 100 years.
You see Jake Browning's girlfriend? Okay. Very good.
Actually, I did not.
You missed that.
No, and I was watching. Okay.
Oh, she knew what she was doing.
Oh, yeah?
She was in the suite. You won't believe the outfit.
Okay, really? All right.
Good for him.
I will Google during the break.
Okay.
Also, we had the 4 remaining Circa Survivor entries. They all won out. So they split $2.3 million.
No sweat. Last 2 weeks, no sweat.
I know.
2 guys on the Raiders, 2 guys on the Bengals.
Mm-hmm. I think we're going to get Indiana Jet, who was one of the winners in studio with us on Friday. And Matty Saint from basically right around your hometown, Minneapolis.
He's a Husky. He went to St. Cloud State. How about it, baby?
He won Circa Millions last night. It came down to the final game.
Right.
Had to have the Bills. So
living right.
We'll recap more of the betting action from the weekend and win some, lose some coming up next year and Follow the Money. It's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Last night? Wow, winning. Or was it a rough one?
Well, they can't all be winners, can they?
Loser! You're a loser! Pauly Howard recaps the night in sports betting in Win Some, Lose Some.
All right, we run it down for the final time. First touchdown of the early games, the Falcons 12-1. First passing touchdown at DraftKings, Ritter 12-1. Will there be a shutout? Yes, 3-1. Carolina does it again. First team to be shut out in back-to-back games since 2008. Most passing yards, Mullins, plus 750. They did not use Saturday games. Most receiving, Jefferson, plus 550. Most rushing yards, Breece Hall, 35-1. Highest scoring game, Saints-Falcons, 10-1. Highest scoring team, Saints, 15-1. How about what happened at the end of the game? Winston, we overruled Dennis Allen, no knee. We wanted to get Williams a touchdown. And then Art Smith blows up on him, which it's like, I like what Tiki Barber said. It's the NFL. You can do what you want. Stop the other team.
Yeah.
Good for him.
And then Smith, see you later, pal.
Yep, gone at midnight. There you go. Lowest scoring game, Bucks Panthers 8-1. Lowest scoring team, Carolina 8-1. To make the playoffs before the season, Texans plus 650. Again, the division? Who knows? Great job. Buccaneers were 4-1. College hoops, Southern Miss plus 275. Handed James Madison their first loss. UTSA plus 320 beat Rice. Eastern Michigan 4-1 beat Kent State. Eastern Illinois plus 340 beat Little Rock. Charlotte plus 330. Come on, Florida Atlantic, get it together. George Washington plus 550 shocked VCU. LSU plus 550 beat A&M. And Cincinnati won at BYU and handed them their second loss. Cincinnati was 4-1. And Kirk was as high as 200-1 to win the Century. What a way for golf to come back. That was madness.
He was that high?
That's what Jeff Sherman tweeted.
Damn.
Subscribe, be part of the team, vsin.com. Our radio and podcast friends. You always want to see these tweets and videos. This was sent in. Guy's playing Ultimate X, the only game in town. He gets dealt 3 aces, multipliers, and he gets 2 of them. Aces and a kicker. 3 times and 4 times. Great job. I don't know the denomination, but still, you'll take it. And that's good coin. And John Brown, who works here, was an excellent job playing at Circa at the Mega Bar. He got aces and a kicker. So there's an easy $500 for him. There's the picture. Good
Very
job,
nice.
John. He held 2. Comes ace, 3. Excellent. I talked about this earlier. Look at the division. Look at the standings. AFC North. For the first time since the 30s, the entire division had a winning record. And the Bengals get there, finally winning their first division game. Last place was 9-8. And the Steelers, figure them out, 10-7. Then you see the Browns and the Ravens. That's staggering. Even with the injuries and bad losses and quarterbacks, great job by Cincinnati, too.
Well,
they still get to 9.
We thought it was going to be good. Again, in that blackjack draft that we had in August here at Circa.
Yep.
The Ravens were on the board when I was picking 10th. Could have taken them. I said, too tough. Doesn't matter. Navigated that to go 13-4.
Yeah, can't kill you. How about a couple dog videos? The dog playing Connect 4. Right? He's got it. Picks up the pieces in his mouth, puts it down. Got it. Okay, you go there. All right, I'm going to throw Connect 4. There's number 2. He has it, right? And then the owner puts, now it's the dog's turn again, Connect 4. All right. Now the owner blocks him. Uh-oh, I block your Connect 4. And that
Game over.
He knocks the game over with a spa. Oh, you were going to let me win? I can't win now? That's it. End the game, right? Because he thought he's going to get Connect 4, and he knocks it over with a spa. That's enough of that, right? You could see this one coming a mile away. The cat's playing with the dog. The dog just looks around. I've had enough of you. Right, here comes the left. Oh, and there he goes. Right. The cat's standing up, and he's slapping him in the face. And then the cat waits and hesitates, and the dog looks and thinks about it and goes,
Get out of here.
I've had enough. And then he knocks him over. There you go. Excellent. Lose some. The Chargers lost 7 games by 3 points or fewer. Tied the record. I think the Oilers at 94.
Oh, I thought
What a
you
way
said,
to end the season.
I thought you would have said the Chargers from like 2 years ago.
Yeah, right. Yeah. 7 times? They lost
That's about right.
Oh, that's incredible. It's over. The Carolina Panthers never ran a play in the fourth quarter with the lead. The whole season. Impossible.
Oh.
I can't imagine that's happened before. And how about this? I know the Cowboys got their dynasty because of the Herschel Walker trade. But is this the worst trade in NFL history? You give up the number 1 pick next year. You got rid of a second rounder and got rid of a top 10 pick that you sold. You shipped out DJ Moore and you passed on CJ Stroud. And the Texans won the division. And okay, well, we had a bad year. Young has a lot to learn and we won 2 games. No problem. We give the first pick. No, you don't.
Well, we'll have to wait and see what the Bears can do with these picks.
Yeah, right.
Because if it turns that team into like a monster, then yes, it'll go down probably right behind or right there with the Herschel Walker trade.
Oh.
If the Bears whiff on the picks and don't make the right moves, then we'll probably forget about it in 10 years.
Bryce Young threw for 80 yards. I mean, he couldn't even throw for 200 yards combined in the last 2 games.
17 games, a full season going all the way back to September. And against the Packers defense 3 weeks ago, that was it.
Yeah.
Like, that was the only time, hey, this is actually decent.
Browns-Bengals under 41 down to 37, 31-14. Dallas-Washington under 49.5 down to 46.5, 38-10. Chargers from pick up to 3.5, lost the game. Niners from 2.5 up to 6, lost the game. Bad for the books. Steelers-Ravens under 37.5 down to 34, 17-10. Great with the weather and the rain. Jets-Patriots under. Oh, look ahead line was 38, closed 28.5. No chance. 17-3. More on the final touchdown. Bengals from 3 up to 7, easy money. Texans +1 went off the favorite. Rams-Niners under 44 down to 40, 21-20. Eagles-Giants under 46 down to 43, 27-10. Bad beats. No touchdown in the Jets-Patriots game. It's 9-3 with 2 minutes left. Breece Hall rips off a 50-yard run. That's a vicious beat. Close 17-1 here at Circa. We'll call it 20-1. No touchdown in the game.
And evidently,
that's tough.
They didn't take a single bet in that market for that game.
On the first touchdown
First
score.
touchdown,
That's
yeah.
right, yeah. Why would you? I mean, that was awesome in the snow. The snow, the wind, those two pathetic offenses.
Second half total was 13.
Have you ever seen one that low?
Is
that the lowest you've ever seen?
I think I've seen 13 before.
Have you?
But,
Wow.
But that went over, did it not?
No, it was 11.
Was it 11? Okay, I thought, okay.
Yeah. Vicious beat. Seattle under the win total. I mean, you need 2 Prater missed field goals, and Seattle has to score, and they have to go for 2 and get it. What happened in the last 3 minutes? Jacksonville over 9.5. They were 8-3.
Oh.
Lost 5 of their final 6. Philly over 11.5. They were 10-1. Lost 5 of their final 6. You can't make it up. DraftKings Sportsbook, official sports betting partner of the NFL playoffs. Bet $5 on any game and get $200 instantly in bonus bets. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use code VEGAS. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours.
Yeah, I'm seeing more stuff this morning on Trevor Lawrence, who he's getting compared to. There's a really good comparison on X right now from Mark Long. Basically, he has the same numbers as Blake Bortles after 3 years in the league.
What?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're very...
No.
In fact, Bortles had more touchdown passes, and he only played 45 starts. Lawrence started 50 games.
Oh, boy.
Lawrence only has like 250 yards more passing, fewer yards rushing. It's just, I mean, the thought is here again, no way you can give Justin Fields all that money. Well, why would Jacksonville just assume that Trevor Lawrence is going to be the guy? Have we seen enough from him over 3 years?
Apparently, he audibled, and it was his call to do the quarterback sneak.
The jump?
It wasn't even close on 4th down.
No, he was way short of the goal line.
Oh, boy. 3rd and goal from the 1, and they throw the ball, too. Mm-hmm. I mean, boy, was that bad.
You have the most disappointing team.
Oh, yeah.
That's what you're saying?
8-3, you can't even make the playoffs? And you're thinking, if they beat Cincinnati that Monday night game, they would have been the 1 seed at the time. And you couldn't beat Browning to get a stop. I mean, that's a joke.
Injuries change things. I think Chargers would be in the conversation, but Herbert was gone for how long?
Yep.
A good month or more down the stretch, the way it feels. So that would. But the Eagles, the way that they're closing this out, man, it is as ugly as it gets for a team of that caliber and with those expectations. Really, really bad. And you're right. I mean, this is why it's so much fun to talk about throughout the entire year. Jacksonville minus 20,000 to make the playoffs before the Bengals game on Monday night. And then all downhill after that. Matt Humans, by the way, he needed the Dolphins +3 to tie for first place in the Circa Millions quarterly last night. It would have been a split of $150,000. Didn't get it, fell to 5th. So thank God he put that game, the Sunday night game, on his card so he could hedge.
Yeah.
And he hedged that on Buffalo. So we'll get into the national title game that we have tonight. Money into the market over the weekend. Details on that coming up next here on VSiN.